Seeing as Morthal's history is, well, non-existent, we're just gonna kind of shuffle on to Markarth, because Morthal had next to no information about any past ruler's history, or really just anything. So, Markarth was initially founded as Nuchan Zel by the Dwemer. During the Ethereum Wars, the city fell to High King Galir, and that was in the First Era. However, it would be soon encompassed by Rien Dreni. So while it's unknown who directly governed Markarth, it can be assumed that Galir ruled from afar until the Dreni conquest. Eventually, the Riemann Empire would acquire Markarth under an unknown ruler or leader, and then eventually would have issues under Kostov, and there would be a revolt in Markarth and Herolden. But, essentially, nonetheless, Markarth would be still subjugated within the Empire. Now, by 431 of the Second Era, Markarth was an independent city-state ruled by Javad Tharn, who served Manimarco. Then, eventually, it would then shift over from independence under, presumably, the Reachmen, to then Tiber Septim, who conquered the city under Hjalti Earlybeard and took it from the Reachmen, hence why I assumed that the Reachmen controlled it after Javad Tharn. Now, during the late Third Era, Lady Helne ruled the city when it had its rivalry with the Amber Guard and Dunstad Grove, and that is all we know about that little stunt. During the Great War, the Imperial City was sacked in 174 of the Fourth Era, and the Reachmen took advantage of this and had taken it over under the new name of the Forsworn. Now, the Jarl at the time was Jarl Hrolfdir, and under the new leader of Markarth, I should say, King Madanach, sought to become an independent kingdom within the Empire. This soon failed because the Empire really did favor the Nords over the Reachmen because they were considered barbaric and savages. So essentially, Jarl Hrolfdir was then quick enough also to gather a militia with Ulfric Stormcloak and storm the city. So, although they did successfully take the city, Hrolfdir was killed. Yeah. And then Ulfric decided he wanted to do his little stint where he's going to say that the Empire needs to allow the worship of Talos to happen in Markarth, which I do somewhat agree with. However, this obviously was allowed by the Empire, but then this still brought in the stint with the Dominion, and now the Dominion's in Markarth, as we see in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. It's all just gross. But at the same time, we now have a new Jarl, and this would be Jarl Igmund, who is the son of Hrolfdir. Now, Igmund was known for pursuing his hatred for the Forsworn, and essentially decided he was going to do an all-out campaign against them. And although we don't see it much in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, we do know that he is ascending in the year 176 of the Fourth Era, so it can be assumed that sometime in between then and 201 of the Fourth Era, that he is doing something to combat the Forsworn, hence why we do see Madanach in Sindan Mine. So I'm assuming that he has been somewhat successful in campaigning against the Forsworn. However, they're everywhere all over the Reach still, and it's just very annoying. I'm sure you all can agree with that. Now, this is always the assumption here if it happens. So if the Stormcloaks win the war, Thongvar Silverblood is then named Jarl, and he is a diehard loyalist of Ulfric Stormcloak and is a full supporter of Ulfric becoming High King. And yeah, that is all we have on the information. We don't really have much on dates when it comes to Markarth. We more have eras, not specific dates in particular. But what is interesting about Markarth is that Markarth had several different faction rulers, and essentially it went from the Nords to, or really the Dwemer to the Nords, then to the Dreni for a while, and then down back to the Nords, and then under the control of the Imperials from with the Riemann dynasty coming in, and then became independent again under Manimarco, and then became under the Reachmen again, then conquered by Tiber Septim, and then was under that the whole time, essentially until the Reachmen had a little stint, was like, hey, we're here, and then we got conquered, and then by the Empire again, and kicked out in favor of the Nords again. Wow, talked really fast there. Didn't expect to talk that fast, but hey, I hope you all enjoyed, and that is all we have today. I'm going to slow down. I actually got a video out on time, which is shocking. Watch some error happen in my just planning where this video does now doesn't come out on time because I just jinxed it. But I hope you all enjoyed. And if there is information, which I'm assuming there is, I will be doing Falkreath next, and then I'll be doing Whiterun, and then Riften. So we're gonna kind of just waltz over Morthal like it doesn't exist, because it really doesn't. So, I'm sure many of you would agree that Morthal is kind of a dump. But stop talking about it, because we're just gonna shuffle past it. But with that, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all in the Discord chat and in the next video. Peace.